Hello my friends, today we are going to make this cute little kitchen towel. I used some economical flour sack towels. You can use whatever kind of towels you want, but I want to get these dirty in my kitchen, so I didn't want to go too crazy. I've used some scrap fabric from my stash that is taking over the world. I used Steam A Seam 2, and I used it on the 9x12 sheets so I can run them through my printer, and we'll talk more about that later. And then I did use my handy dandy necky to stitch some outline stitching. And if you want to make the hearts exactly the way I did, you can click on the link in the description, zip right over to my website, and download my heart template for free. So go do that and then come right back, and then let's make our cute little dish towel. I wanted to get a quick shot of these flour sack towels. I got these at Walmart. You can get them wherever you can find them, but I do want to wash them first. If there's any spinning oil or sizing in there from manufacturer, I want to get that out before I go ahead and make my project. In addition to my flour sack towel, which I have washed and dried to get any kind of finishing off of it, and some scraps from my scrap fabric stash, I'm going to use Steam A Seam 2. This is a double stick fusible web, and this is the letter sized sheets. So what I like about these is I can draw right on them if I want to, but in addition, I can run them through my printer. So I have made, well, let's look at the product first. It comes, and we have, I think it's 5 sheets, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets that are gridded. So a couple things are going on here. One is if I wanted to get my pen out and draw on here, I certainly could if I was trying to freehand. The other thing is the grid line is going to help me keep my elements level if I'm going to just fussy cut some cute things that I find on fabric. But the last thing I like about this stuff is I can run this through my printer. So if you run over to mbtcreates.com, I'll put a link in the description. I will give you a free download of the hearts that I used to make the towels. So if you want to follow along with me, just go ahead and download that pattern and then print. Now when you put this in your printer, I know in my printer specifically, I have to put the grid side down because you want the ink to show up on the grid side, not the plain side. So my printer goes like this. And so I want on the print side, so when I put this in my tray, I have to put it with the grid side down. And again, I don't know what kind of printer you have, but I have to tell it that I have specialty paper in there, not just regular paper, or it doesn't grab very well. So I'm going to go print this, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to make some cute hearts. I neglected to point out earlier that these sheets are 9x12, and I happen to have the world's crappiest printer, so I had to trim mine down, but since we have a grid on it, it was not that hard to do. So I did take my scissors and I trimmed my sheet down to 8.5 by 11. If you have a better printer than I do and it takes different sizes paper, then you can just run it the way you see it. That said, if you're using the download that is free on my blog, that is set up for an 8.5 by 11 or a letter size sheet. All right, here are our hearts. And I'm just going to rough cut them out right now. I'm not going to cut them super neatly. I am going to split them all up though and decide which of my pile of scrap fabrics is going to be appropriate for this project. But I'm not being super careful. I'm just splitting everything up. You only have to be careful in places like this where they're very close together. You want to make sure you don't cut into one or the other. I went fishing in the scrap pile. It's a couple of bins worth, and I came up with 2 sort of sets that I liked. Now there's 5 hearts on the page. You don't have to use all 5 of them if you don't want to. But I was looking for sort of 5 things that I thought had similar vibes. So I have this sort of food thing going on here. And then over here I have florals. I have some soft florals, I have some bright florals. So I think I'm going to put these together in a couple of different ways. I think I might go with florals for this project. So I think I'm going to go through this, pick out 5 that I like, and then we'll talk about getting the hearts prepped. All right, I'm pressing my little scraps here, and I know that these were all pre-washed because I'm one of those people that pre-washes everything. I know some people have issues with pre-washing or not pre-washing. I say, do what you want to do. All right. Once again, my ink is on my gridded side. So the first thing I want to do is peel the white paper off. Make sure you peel the white paper, not the grid paper. And sometimes this comes right apart, which it did for me today, yay. And sometimes you got to fuss with it a little bit, but you want to make sure the adhesive is still sticking to the grid paper. So when you're peeling this white paper off, just the paper. So until I hit this with the iron, it is removable. It has just enough stick that it's going to stick on my fabric, so I don't have to worry about losing the place where I wanted to fussy cut. If I'm fussy cutting, I'm trying to get over here. I want to make sure I get some of the blue in there. So I think I'm going to go here. So again, putting just the least little bit of pressure on it so it sticks. And I'm going to go ahead and cut around the heart. I'm going to do this to all 5 of my fabrics. One thing I wanted to point out when I was prepping some of the brighter fabrics is another thing I like about this is you can see through it because it's a lightweight product and you've only got the one piece of paper at this point. So it's a little difficult to see, but I wanted to sort of center one of the flowers right in the center. So because I was able to see through the paper, I was able to move the heart around as much as I wanted until I got that flower right in the center where I wanted it. So it's a great product if you're going to try and fussy cut. All right, I have my hearts all cut out. And once again, if you're using the full sheet template that you can get free on my blog, you have 1 large, 2 medium, and 2 small. Do you have to use all 5 hearts? No, you don't, but I'm gonna because they're here. So here are the 5 hearts that I have chosen to move forward with. So the next thing I do is iron my flour sack towel, which I have already washed and thrown in the dryer. One is I want to get all that factory spinning oil and sizing off, and the other is I'm going to actually use my towel and it will get dirty in the kitchen and I want to throw it in the washer and the dryer, so I'm going to go ahead and do that first. But let me grab a towel and then I'm going to iron that so it's nice and flat. If you're using a flour sack towel like I am here, these are not the highest quality fabric in the world, and I'm doing it because I want to use these kitchen towels. They're not for decoration solely, and if I wreck them, I want to be able to make more. So what I did is I quartered it, so I folded it in half in one direction and then in the other, and then I just ironed it right there so that when I open it out, I can see where the center mark is. It's just going to help me. See, I can see my center mark right there. It's just going to help me with my placement. But again, these are for use. I'm not going too crazy. So I'm going to try and keep my design area to the center third, and I'm going to try and keep it under that half fold so that if I throw it over the handle of my refrigerator or the handle of my stove, I'm seeing my cute hearts. I'm not seeing white space. Now you can arrange these any way you want to. I sort of envisioned a little cascade like they were falling off the towel because that was kind of what was in my brain. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go with that. My original thought was to iron down a heart and then sew around it and then iron down a heart and sew around it. I think that this is a terrible idea because I think what I'm going to end up with as I continue to lay my hearts out is a lot of stitching under this lightweight quilting cotton fabric, and I think it's going to look lumpy. So my new plan is to go ahead and nail down all my hearts where I want them and then sew all the way around. Now it says on the package that you don't even have to sew because the adhesive, and now it's going to be permanent because we're going to iron it, goes all the way to the edge. If I iron this, this should live happily through the washer and dryer. But hey, this is a sewing channel. I want to get my sewing machine out. So I'm going to move these guys out of the way. And I'm just going to go ahead and lay this guy down first. And to do that, I'm going to peel off the grid paper. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I started this off camera because it's a little fiddly to get started, but I've discovered that because the hearts have a point on them, that's sort of a natural place to start. You want to make sure that the adhesive is sticking to the fabric and not to the paper. So when the paper pulls off, the paper should pull off clean. All right, and I have this little snippet of I don't know what going on here. Let me get rid of that. Once again, slightly tacky until I nail it down. And by tacky, I mean sticky, not ugly. I'm gonna lay this heart right here at the fold that I left myself for the center. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna press it. And the package recommends I press it for 20 seconds. And to use the same sort of setting on the iron that I would use for the fabric. And so this is quilting cotton and flour sack cotton. I'm going to nail this bugger down. I have it set very high. So I'm going to just let this hang out for 20 seconds and then we'll take a closer look. All right, let's get this out of the way. Let's see what we got. So that is on there. That actually, again, I'm relatively new to working with this project. That has a lot of drape. I'm actually surprised by how soft that is. So I'm going to let that cool off a minute. And then I'm going to go ahead and set my next heart. So I'm going to go one at a time and set my hearts in this sort of cascading pattern so that they're all falling off. I want them to fall off the edge of the towel, basically. So I'm going to go ahead and set all my hearts one after the other, and then we'll come back and take a look at it. Even at this step, it's tacky and it'll stick, but I can reposition this as many times as I need to until I decide that I like where it is, and then once I hit it with the iron, it's there forever. Here are my little hearts, all stuck on. They're not going anywhere. And the flour sack material is really, really lightweight, so I'm not super worried about stickiness. But if I was working with multiple layers or I was working on heavier fabric, the last thing I would do was turn it over and iron it one more time from the back to make sure that I had plenty of heat throughout. Again, for this particular project, not a big deal. I'm not worried about it at all. But this is an option when you're working with heavier fabric. Here we are at my messy sewing table, and I got out my handy dandy necky, and I'm going to do a little, it's sort of like an embroidery stitch. It's a little variation on a stem stitch. I wanted to pick a stitch that took a curve easily. And the other thing I wanted to point out on this machine, and probably on yours too, we have a speed control. And since I'm trying to top stitch in an embroidery stitch around a curved shape, I moved my speed down to the middle here. Normally I like it on the fastest setting. So let's take a closer look at the stitch I chose. I want to outline each of the hearts, but I don't want there to be sort of a cutoff here where one overlaps the next. So for each one of these hearts, I'm going to start here at the bottom of the overlap, head down to the point, up and around, and I'm going to end here where the overlap begins at the top. Then I'm going to move on to the next heart, start at the bottom of the overlap, the next heart, start at the bottom of the overlap, etc. And the only one I'm going to go all the way around is this last one, because this last one doesn't have an overlap. So in this one, it kind of doesn't matter where I start, but on this very last heart, I'm going to go all the way around in my stitch. So as I said earlier, I really brought the speed of the machine down because I don't want to go too crazy and go off the edge. And I want to take my pivot when the needle is down and in the middle of the stitch. Now my little embroidery stitch, I'll show you a close-up still, I'll drop it into the video. My embroidery stitch is going a tiny bit off of the edge, and that's okay with me. It's just one more thing to keep that edge down. And again, the product tells me I don't really have to stitch over this if I don't want to, but I'm never going to turn down an opportunity to play with a sewing machine. If you feel like you've got the hang of it and you want to speed up your motor, go ahead. But I feel like, especially as I start to hit these curves, I don't want to get too carried away. I would also say an embroidery stitch like this takes a lot of bobbin thread, so you do want to make sure that you have started this little adventure with a full bobbin. As always, when you're top stitching, make sure that your fabric is not tucked up under it. That is something that I do inappropriately all the time. My needle's down. Come up the other side. And then I'm going to end right where I get to the overlap. And trim my threads. Now I will say, I came in a little farther on this side than I did down here, but let's be honest, it's a dish towel. I'm not going to get that mad about it. And since this is a new machine to me, I'm doing a lot of practice here. And I liked this stitch. I think it's a little, I was trying to show it to you earlier, but my sample was white thread on white fabric and you couldn't really see it. Here you can see it on the green. This little stem stitch variation, it takes a curve nicely. So even if you're not perfect, and I certainly was not, you still get a nice neat curve. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish going around all my other hearts, and then we can come back and take a final look. All right, here is my lovely hand towel with my cascading hearts. They are all top stitched. Let's see if I can get a little closer without it getting too blurry. So I will say two things. One is my top stitching did get neater as I went and had a little more practice. The other thing is, of course, it's much easier for me to sew when there is not a camera up my nose. So I did do a slightly better job moving forward than I did at the very beginning. So that's one thing I wanted to point out. Another thing I wanted to point out, it advertises on the package that if the fabric is properly prepared, which we did, that stitching through the fused fabric will not gum up your needle like it can do when you have a wash away or a tear away stabilizer. And I'm here to report, I can't prove it to you because there's no way to show you how something feels on the internet, but there is no residue on my needle whatsoever, even in instances like here where I was going through 2 layers of goo at the same time. So I'm happy to report that there is no false advertising on that topic. So like I said, here's my little outline all the way around. So there is my Cascading Hearts hand towel. I hope you had a really wonderful time joining me today. I always appreciate when you stay till the end. And thanks so much for watching, and be sure to check out some other videos here on MBT Creates while you're here. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.